Alright, there we go. Cool. Boy, I look washed out today. It's a bright day out there. Oh, I'm not gonna worry about it. Alrighty, let's see here. Alright. Starting it up. Only got like an hour tops to stream today. It's gotta be a shorter one because I'm late getting to it because I made a boo-boo and I accidentally had my my new let me see here. I'm gonna bring myself up over here actually. Yeah, it's a better place for me there. Yeah, I made a boo-boo and I had my my new CPU, my new Intel chip delivered to my old address. So I've been working with UPS, my old apartment complex, Newegg, all the all of the places I can try to work with to try and see if we can't retrieve that package. It's like that's $150 that I just it's my own fault. I can't be mad at anyone. It's my own fault. I wasn't paying close enough attention and accidentally had it shipped to my old address because it was still on file, kind of buried there in Newegg. So I goofed. It's my fault. I'm waiting to hear back from my old apartment complex, so I may even have to end the stream earlier. But I'm a little miffed at myself. I'm extremely miffed at myself. Yeah, I don't know. It's my own fault. It's my own fault. I'm not gonna sit here and try to raise any sort of funk or act like there's anyone or anything to blame about this. It was a goofy mistake on my part. I might be out $150. That's, it is what it is, and it hurts a little bit to think about being out that kind of cash today's day and age. The only solace that I have is, I was able to afford that without the stimulus, and it sounds like our government is going to do something for us for a change and get us a stimulus package. So, absolute worst case scenario, I gotta buy another one. I don't want to spend the money on that. It's not exactly a responsible use of the money, but I'll be able to make it work, and I'll be able to have a computer still. The thing that really hurts about it is I was hoping to do it. I've got a long weekend coming up this weekend, and I was really hoping to be able to be building that computer this weekend. And now, depending on how things go, if I've got to order another one, it might add some time, so I might not be able to build it this weekend like I was hoping to. I might be able to find, the Intel chips aren't that hard to find, so I might be able to find one on Amazon or something and get 2 days shipping through Prime or something like that. I feel like the last time I checked it, the prices of them, the reason I got it on Newegg is because it was actual MSRP for the chips through Newegg. Well, it was overpriced on Amazon, but I don't know. Man, I'm so irritated with myself. I'm gonna do my best to not let that destroy the stream or the VOD for people who are anyone who watches the replay either on Twitch or on YouTube. It doesn't really matter to me where people watch it, but God, what a goofy thing to do. What a goofy mistake. Alright, well, we're gonna go ahead and start. We're gonna, my gosh, my head is just, God, I am just beside myself. I'm so angry with myself. I can't believe I did that. And I can't believe I didn't even notice. I did, there were two things that got shipped, and they're separate packages because the new motherboard is coming in. Luckily, the motherboard was coming from a different warehouse. Where's my folder? Why is my folder not loading up? There we go. The motherboard is coming from a different warehouse, So there's time, and that one isn't going to be delivered for a couple more days. So there's time we can intercept it through UPS and have it redirected, so we can at least rescue that one. But I feel so stupid. I didn't even think to double check and make sure. Because like the tracking notification would be like, yep, on time for delivery. And if I were to just if I were to have once read the whole page, since that tracking information first showed up last week, if I were to have checked just once, I would have noticed. I could have intercepted, no problem. Didn't even notice. The only reason I picked it, I didn't even notice it on the web page because I'm so lazy and wasn't paying attention. It's my own doggone fault. The only reason I figured it out is because it said it was delivered, and I went down to where they put the packages in my current apartment building, and it wasn't there. And I was like, did they like give it to the office or something? And so rather than walk into the office in the middle of COVID, I thought I'd check and see what that was, and I saw the delivery was to the old apartment complex, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I did that. Such a dumb rookie mistake. Such a dumb mistake to make. Ah, well. What can I do now? What can I do now except for everything that I've done? I contacted Newegg. They're going to redirect the one that hasn't been delivered. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. And then they'll, I reached out and left a message at the old apartment complex. I might have to end the stream early if my old complex calls me back. I don't know. It's so indicative. It's so typical. I remember living there. It's so typical of the office. They don't have anyone at the office answering the phone at like frickin' 1:30 in the afternoon. And it's like most places I'd be willing to offer the benefit of the doubt that they're just like, things are changed because of COVID or something like that. No, that's not that. That's not my old complex. They never had anyone in the office. It was such a pain. It was like impossible to get maintenance requests and stuff put in because there was just no one there. If you got a hold of someone, they were perfectly friendly and perfectly helpful. They never had anyone there, and they never adhered to their own hours that they would post. It was so maddening. It was so maddening. So, I don't know. We'll see what we can do. We don't need that one open. We've already got music going. We've already got some music going. So, I don't know. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and work on a. Oh, excuse me. I'm so angry. I made myself tired. That makes me think though. I'm gonna run and grab a beverage real quick. I will be back in like 20 seconds. You'll be able to see me running back to my kitchen. I'm gonna make it fast. I hope you enjoyed that slideshow that my headset had the foresight to provide you guys in my haste to chuck it off of me. Oh my god. Alright. Yum. Okay. So, let's see here. Okay. Center in. Goose Fraba. Snow. No big issue. Hey, how's it going, Shifting Wolf? I'm doing okay. I'm surviving. For the sake of the VOD, I just went through the whole discussion about how I goofed up with the new computer parts I ordered and had them delivered to my old apartment. So I've been not fighting with. It's my own fault. It's my own fault. I wasn't paying attention to the shipping address. I can't be mad at anyone, but been working through the process to try and retrieve those, so I'm not out like $150 on my on my Intel chip. Because I'm such a dummy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst because I didn't even notice it. Like one of the parts hasn't been delivered yet, so we're able to intercept it from UPS, so it'll be delivered to my current address. So that'll help. So that's at least one part that I don't have to possibly buy again. but I'm so mad at myself. I can't believe I did it. I feel so stupid. I haven't lived at that old apartment in like 2 years. You know, if it was something like I had it delivered there because I lived there, 3 months ago, I just moved. That's like understandable. I'd give myself a bit of a break on that one. But it's been like 2 years. It's been 2 years. That's what I get. Oh yeah, no, I'm not sitting here gonna like self-flagellate later or something like that. But oh god, I'm so annoyed. More than anything, I'm annoyed because I was really wanting to build, I got a new graphics card too. Luckily, the graphics card, the most expensive one, I immediately double-checked to make sure that one's going to be delivered tomorrow to my current address. I did get that one right. But I was hoping to build my new computer this weekend. And depending on how things play out, it might be next weekend. Which is just, that's such a letdown. But, alright, what are we working on here? I am going to be working on... Oh, and that's the other thing, too. I'm still waiting on a call back from my old apartment complex to try and retrieve that package. So if I get a call, I may have to... I may have to end the stream early to answer a call, or at least, go AFK for a minute to figure out if we can retrieve that package. Get it out of the grubby hands of whatever losers living in my old apartment. I mean, I'm willing to bet that if they explain the situation, they'll have me on record. I'm willing to bet we can retrieve it pretty easily, but I gotta actually get a hold of someone to do it. But all right, at any rate, trying to get my mind off of that, and actually work on what we're trying to do here for at least the hour that we got left of this stream period. So, we are working on the next dungeon. I'm trying to get like a dungeon, or equivalent done once per week here. Is sort of the pace I'm trying to maintain. That's what my goal is to maintain. So to do that, we gotta actually start and do something here today, even though I've only got about an hour left. Yeah, good old homebrews, man. I love homebrew worlds. I love it so much. Like there's certainly value. I'm doing a Horde of the Dragon Queen campaign right now, and there's value to doing modules, but it's so much fun to do homebrews. Oh, yeah, I feel ya. Trying to stay focused and work with a headache. That's always the worst. That or when you're tired. That's the one for me. That happens to me a lot because I do a lot of my writing and stuff sort of in the afternoons when my day job is slow, so I can actually kind of have some time. Like I'm tied to my desk anyway, but I'm not working on projects and stuff. I just have to be there to answer the phone. That's where I'm at right now. If my work phone rings too, I have to stop and answer that, but it almost never happens. So I'll do that, but it's like perfect siesta time, and I get super sleepy. It is hard to stay focused when you're sleepy, man. I've gotten in the habit of just always having energy drinks or something nearby if I'm out of coffee, which I'm usually out of coffee because I chug that crap all morning long. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started here. I'm working on, so we finished our abandoned mine. We're trying to finish up our island like I had pulled up before. I want to finish up this island. Well, the island we want to finish up this week here, and then the whirlpool I'm going to add in there, although I don't even know if the whirlpool is going to be something anyone goes into. It's kind of like an auxiliary thing, and it's more so going to be there. Oh my gosh, yes, when you go to bed and then your brain has all kinds of ideas. That's why I do all kinds of physical activity and strictly regiment my schedule, so that way when I lay down in bed I'm exhausted and I fall right to sleep. It's taken a lot of practice to get myself to that point, but I am rigid with my sleep schedule to keep that going. And it's one of the best things I've ever done for myself. Getting myself on a strict go to bed, wake up time. I don't snooze or anything. I make myself get up no matter how tired I am. So that way it's I keep on that schedule, and it's one of the best things I've ever done for getting a good night's sleep. But yeah, so the whirlpool, I don't know if the whirlpool is ever gonna be something that there will be direct targets for. What I want to do with that one is kind of have some sort of dungeon, and I'll figure this out next week when we get to it. But I want to have some sort of dungeon, and I really want that to just be if they're traveling via boat in these other surrounding areas, like going through the ocean there and traveling by boat, and they just get a really unlucky happenstance roll, because that's what I always do. You know, whenever players are traveling, I always have them, you know, make checks to see if just random things occur and happen to them. And so if something extreme happens to them, you know, while traveling, that's kind of what the whirlpool is. So it's not even something that'll be on their radars for the most part, I don't think. But today we're going to work on the Old Manor. So we're going to do the Old Manor, the Old Manor, if you will. And I know I will. Level 4. So this is meant to be, we're going to make this a level, oh shoot. Okay, yep, nope, hold on. I'm going away. This is my apartment complex. I'll be back up. I'll be back! Okay, I'm back for a minute. They're gonna try and track down and see if the package is still sitting on the front stoop of my old apartment there. Gosh, I feel like such a goofball. Alright, well, we'll try and stay focused, but there's a good chance I will be disappearing within the next 5 minutes again. Yeah, I think based on the tracking, it sounded like they delivered it and whoever lives there wasn't home, so they should be able to just sort of grab it, or if they are home, they'll be able to say, hey, there's a package that was delivered to the guy who used to live here. I mean, like I said, they got me on file. They've got their records of the fact that I used to live there. Really easy to verify, and I doubt that whoever lives there really cares about just like a single random Intel chip. Like, what the hell does anyone do with that unless they have everything else you need to build a computer? It's not even a valuable item to resell. Those ones aren't scarce. So I'm thinking it'll work out, but God, I feel so silly. Okay, so we're gonna make this a level 4, internet player level. I don't want to bold it. I want it to look better. Level 4. So this is gonna be. I always design everything for a group of 5 players, because for me, when I'm DMing, I try to make sure everything is. Every game I play, I try to have like 3 players at the absolute bare minimum. But I try to do. I try to have 4 to 6 players in any session. Any fewer than 4, and it's hard for them to find success at what they're doing just because they have so few like attacks and skills at their disposal. But when you get to more than 6, it's just like freaking taming cats trying to get them to stay organized when you have more than that. So I always plan for level 5 or for 5 players. So that way it's like if there's 5 people in the group, it's spot on. If there's 4 people in the group, it's a little extra challenging, but they can handle it. And if there's 6 in the group, then it's a little easy for them, but it's still fun and they don't feel like they're demolishing everything too much. So level 4 is what this one's gonna try. What it's gonna be. Number of room sets. We're just gonna stick with 1 set of rooms. What I always mean by that. So for me, I've sort of discussed it before, I think. But I always try to target about 10 rooms per dungeon. Maybe a couple more, maybe a couple less, depending on the nature of the dungeon. But I try to target having 10 rooms per dungeon. But as the levels increase, I like to make the dungeons potentially a bit more labyrinth-esque. And so basically what I do, I can pull it up just because, I like giving the rundown, and I think it's fun for people who are watching to really understand what my system is. Like, cause that's one of the reasons why I'm streaming just my writing process, because I feel like there's just so few resources for DMs, especially new DMs, that actually like stepwise go through. There's tons of resources that are like DMs speaking to DMs, like people who already have a process and already understand how the homebrew and the world building process works. But there's very little that handles things like stepwise for people that are brand new. And so that's kind of what I wanted to do with these writing streams. So I think I might as well go through the process. So I have my honeycomb world map here, and when you see, so let me actually, you know, here's what we'll do. We'll split screen it here, and then we'll bring up OneNote. Split screen it, baby. So when we're looking at, so you can see here, I have row A, B, C, D, and then within those there's the columns 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So if we're wow, that is a useless split screen. Never mind, we'll just bounce back between the two. So it's stupid looking. So yeah, so with the rows and the columns, it's row A, B, C, D, right? And it just kind of bounces that way. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. So we're working on, you know, the area here. So we're working on I4 because it's going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, right? And then it bounces around there. And so there's I and then fourth over 1 over. So that's where the I4 that you see there comes from. And all of these, when it comes to difficulty and when they should, when players should be expected to find things, because I make my world in such a way that the players can, if they want to, just like pick a direction and walk if they wanted to. You know, they could just be like, we're going north, and then they just go north, right? If they wanted to do that, they could do that. I'm not going to stop them from doing that. But it's a, you know, it's a living world, and so I'm also not going to tailor the world to them being stupid about stuff, right? And eventually, if they keep going north, they'll encounter things that they're probably not ready for. You know, what I do for them is I provide hooks that lead them towards areas that they can probably handle. And so all of that sort of changing difficulty is in reference to, as you can kind of see it on here, these larger cities that exist. Because my world is a pretty shattered, destroyed world. Very torn apart by unfortunate events. You know, particularly one event called the Unhinging, in which, you know, all of the different realms just kind of, like, imagine you have a bottle of water and oil, and you just shake it all up, and then, you know, you have all of your oils and waters and stuff, all those layers mixed together. That's kind of what happened. All the different planes just kind of got mixed together, and it made everything all kinds of cuckoo, crazy town banana pants. And I will be right back to continue this conversation because the place is calling me again. I will be right back.
I don't know what y'all think, but I think that's pretty.
You guys are so good at that.
Haha, we have success. They retrieved the package and are gonna hold it until I can have someone pick it up and send it to me. Ah, boy. Crisis averted. Everything worked out. All you gotta do is frantically call people until they help you out sometimes. like a psycho lunatic. No, I wasn't that bad, but but we're good. We're good. My computer will be successfully updated this weekend, and everything will be okay, as it usually is. You know, I feel like that's if we wanna wax poetic. How's it going? How's it going, Joe's life? It is going really well. As I was just saying, I just got off the phone with my old apartment complex where my new Intel chip was accidentally delivered because I'm a goofball who was not paying attention to the delivery address. But they have retrieved it, and I am not out $150 because I've got family that lives right there who can go grab it and send it to me. So we're alive and not panicking anymore, which is a good thing. So that's how it's going for me, man. Hope it's going well for you too. And now we got 45 minutes that maybe I can actually be focused on what I'm working with. Good. I'm glad it's going good, man. So we are working on it's kind of given just a brief rundown of my of how I go about world building here. Oh, working on a fighter subclass. See, I see a lot of people in the comments. A lot of people. It's like three whole people. But I see people in the comments. You guys are awesome at building subclasses and stuff. And for me, trying to balance a subclass is something that I just don't do as much. I'm much more of a world and lore builder. So like I'm sitting here working on what we're working on is building a dungeon that goes within this world, and I was just kind of giving the rundown of how I handle my world, talking about how like I've got just sort of this wasteland of a world, so to speak, D&D version of like a wasteland world, where there are about 12 established cities, kind of very Attack on Titan inspired, just in terms of how there's like cities that are established with barriers and protections put up in those cities, and then the surrounding world is just a completely dangerous train wreck for the most part. Need to run it by some people for feedback. Yeah, man, I feel that. That's one of the best things, and that's what I've been loving about streaming my writing process, is to be able to like share my ideas with people and see what people think about stuff, and kind of group workshop some ideas and stuff. I feel you there. But yeah, so with this world, we've got these 12 worlds, and what I was kind of describing is how the difficulty of what I plant for players to encounter kind of works in a radius approach from these cities, where it's like the interior city areas, the areas with the cities, like this one right here is the area that we're working on here with Bepimat. That's very safe. As if you're level 1, you can handle anything. Going out one ring from that here, one honeycomb layer away from that, we have stuff designed for players levels roughly 1 through 5, right? And then as we go out further, then we're looking at more like 6 through 10, and then go out further. I'm going into the ocean, so it's not actually out here, but going out further, 11 through 15, and then further than that up to level 20, and then if there's anything that's even farther than that from any city, that's stuff that's like even at level 20, you're going to be severely outclassed. So players really need to think about amassing a lot of resources and making some really detailed plans for how to handle it. And the reason I was kind of going through and describing that is because one of the ways that I add some challenge to that is we're working on just a level 4 dungeon, right? So it's going to be right next to in an area right next to a big city. Here, when I'm making dungeons, one of the ways you can add difficulty is by having multiple sort of sets of rooms. Because a baseline dungeon for me, I work on a like 10-room dungeon type of system. Is sort of what my preference is. And then if once we get higher levels, I'll add another set. It's like we're kind of going on with Dungeon of the Mad Mage, right, where there's just multiple levels, multiple floors, so to speak, of rooms, and it just adds that challenge by adding so much more that players can encounter in between having true opportunities to rest. There's always opportunities that they can try and get a long rest or something like that, but limited opportunities to resupply, limited opportunities to find new information and things like that. So working on a level 4 dungeon here, we're going to stick to just one room set, because this is still for pretty new players. By the time you get to level 4, you're starting to get the hang of the game, but there's still a lot that they don't really sort of inherently know. They're still trying to really understand the nuances of the game, so at that level we try to not overwhelm them too much. So working on this dungeon some more, we're working on sort of an ancient, not really, but a falling apart mansion that's located on this island that I've been working on. Here we have our island. We've already built the shipwreck beach, the abandoned mine, and the pirate cove. And so we're working now on the old manor here. And in a lot of ways, the old manor is going to be kind of the capstone of it, because this whirlpool is going to have a dungeon associated. But that's something that's more likely for them to encounter accidentally if they have poor navigational skills while on a ship following this trade route that goes along this dotted line here. So we will work on the whirlpool, but in a lot of ways the manor here is going to be sort of the final capstone to it all. to this island anyway, because there's been a lot of stuff that they have so far been potentially able to encounter on this island. And the manor is going to be where sort of the boss of the island, the guy who's really just, wrecking everything, is going to be. So the nearest city here is, whoops, don't bold that. It's got to look proper. Bebemet is the nearest city. I was kind of just put a couple notes up top here, just for quick reference if I'm trying to quickly scan through and just like come up with a dungeon. Because one of the other things that I like to do, I'm world building, so all of my stuff is like cohesive world building stuff. There's ties from like one part of the map to the other parts of the map and stuff. It's all a very cohesive thing. That said, sometimes as a DM, because I'm forever DM, word's gotten out that I do DMing, and so I pretty much always end up DMing because people are like, oh, you DM, our friends and I want to learn how to play. It's like, okay, I'll DM your group. And so as a forever DM, I end up with a lot of situations in which I might need just like a one-shot. And so I try to always have just some quick notes up top here, so that way I can just quickly find a one-shot if I need it. So the current overlord of this one, the current boss, is going to be, what did I name him? What did I name that butthead? The Cyclops that is running it. What did I name him? Ignatius, that's right. Ignatius. Ignatius. Dang it, I thought I unbolded that. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Quick chat. Quick quiz. Who was that? I'll give you the answer. It's my nephew. I've got a very dramatic teenage nephew who everything is the worst thing that has ever happened to him. Like, he actually will say that line, and it's the funniest thing ever. It's so hard to not laugh at him when I hear him say that. Alright, so the history of this manor here. So there's a lot of interesting history for this manor, but I'm going to go ahead and save myself a little bit of work here. And we're going to just copy and paste this, because the history of this island is pretty much the same as the history of the manor. The manor is the important, the keystone feature of this island, where it because until the unhinging, this island, the unhinging is the event that ruined, that it's the catastrophic event that destroyed the world. The unhinging, before the unhinging happened, this manor was basically just like, it was like a castle, a big mansion that, some baron or another owned and used as a vacation home. And it basically just passed from hand to hand as a staple of wealth. And then when the unhinging happened, Ignatius, who at the time was just sort of a wealthy human trader, who presently owned it. Oh, jeez, we're getting some frames. Come on, computer, hold it together, figure it out. Computer, oh man, we're struggling. Oh boy, come on, computer. Oh man, it's gonna be so choppy. It's gonna be so choppy. I don't know if there's anything I can do about it, because it looks like it's just an issue with my computer struggling to keep up. Okay, we've stabilized. This poor computer. I bought all kinds of new stuff for your computer. We got everything. You're gonna in many definition new computer. I mean, if we use the same metric that I use for my day job, where it's like new project, and the new project or the new replacement, the qualification is at what do they say? It's like 50% of the cost of the facility. Like, if we're using 50% of the cost, then it's going to be a brand new computer. We got a new graphics card, a new motherboard, and a new chip. Motherboard and computer chip coming just to be able to handle the new graphics card. Just to hold together. Just to hold together a couple more days. This weekend we're going to update. It's going to be brand new. It's going to be spiffy and nice and lovely. We just got to hold on just a little bit longer. I don't know. Okay, it looks like things have stabilized, so I can stop fretting over it. But yeah, so the human, who was just sort of like a human baron named Ignatius, he basically just took a whole bunch of his servants, sort of transitioned them to slaves because everything was going haywire, and he sort of fooled them. Not really fooled them. At the time, he was a human, and he wasn't a horrible guy at the time. But he took a bunch of his servants on a boat. They went to the island, and they were just like, we're just going to sit here and have a pint and wait for this whole thing to blow over. And then instead, because everything was all kinds of topsy-turvy and there were all kinds of tears in reality and all kinds of magic impacting everything, instead Ignatius slowly lost his mind and was magically transformed into a giant cyclops, who dabbled, while he was losing his sanity, dabbled in some dark magics, kind of made everyone on the island immortal for the sake of being able to, well, and himself immortal, but kind of for the sake of being able to just like hunt and torment and torture them for eternity, because he is kind of fucked up in the head now. And so that's kind of where we're at with this island, and that's what a lot of the experiences on this island are sort of players encountering these poor enslaved folk who are trying to hide on this island, like, you know, Lord of the Flies style, from Ignatius, the crazy guy. And so the capstone of it is going to be basically the chance to take down Ignatius and rescue the people, which in this situation is basically allowing them to die. They've been alive for centuries now, basically spending hundreds of years being hunted and tormented and tortured by this guy, because what he would do is he would capture them, torture them a little bit, and then let them escape, and then do the whole thing again next weekend. So that's going to be the idea for it. So in this manor here, so as far as the manor goes, that's where Ignatius lives, and so it's going to be interesting thing here. So enemy type. So for the enemies, what the theme that I kind of want to go with and work with in this dungeon is I want to have Ignatius be the main guy, and I basically want the manor to be filled with creatures that are sort of just part of his personal menagerie. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to think about it, like what I think it'll be is him, because he was dabbling in dark magics. That's how he made himself and everyone else immortal. And so what I think it's going to be is I kind of want to make monstrosities be sort of the theme of this one, because he would have captured indigenous wildlife and used his dark magics to really to twist and mold and melt these creatures into being just these grotesque, Cronenberg-esque, The Thing type of creatures that were more pleasing to his broken and twisted mind, is sort of what I'm wanting to go with. So what I want to do here is we're going to, so for the enemies here, we're just going to copy our little framework here as I've been doing. Enemy type and theme. We're just going to paste that stuff there so we can do that. We're going to do grotesque monstrosities that were once wildlife and are now fucked up. I don't know. Once wildlife and now magically altered monsters. There we go. That's what we want to do. So for our so one of the important things, and one of the things that really helps is so that I can keep up with the pace of like creating a dungeon per week, is I have created templates and patterns and systems for keeping everything consistent. So we're going to challenge levels here is what we're looking at. So all of these things, so for these enemies types, for every dungeon I'd basically come up with every room set. So in this situation, every dungeon, I come up with 4 monsters, because it's so easy to like come up with an idea and then like overburden it with so many monsters that like suddenly it stops kind of having meaning on a thematic level. So I always tie myself down, give myself a limit of 4 monsters per dungeon. There's and each one is basically, so for the fodder, right, the easy to kill monsters, it's meant to be 10 of them are easy for 5 level 4 players. Soldiers, right, sort of the foot soldiers, quote unquote, 5 of them are in easy combat. For the leaders, which are sort of like your generals and whatnot, generally. It's 3 of them would make an easy encounter, and then the boss man, the big boss battle, is 1 of them is easy, so that way you can throw in a couple minions as well, and to make it a deadly encounter, because it's way more fun if they have the boss add some of his minions. That just makes it so much more interesting and fun for them from a combat mechanics standpoint. So, and so I've just pre-mapped out what challenge rating it should be, just to save myself time. I took the time to do that for levels 1 through 20, so we can see we need a 1/8, 1/2, CR 1, and a challenge rating 4 enemy. So we're gonna pull up Furfox here, and we're gonna go to D&D Beyond. I'm not even sponsored by them, and I'm advertising for them because they are just such a dominant resource for playing D&D if you're trying to find official lore and official rules and stuff. And I find when I'm making my homebrew, typically speaking, when making a homebrew, the best starting point really is going to be starting with rules as written. So then you don't stray too far from what the game is meant to be. So we're going to go into our monsters here, and we're just going to look at some rules as written monsters, and we might keep them as written. We might need to enter, or we might need to alter some things. And usually with monsters, what I'll do is I'll just reskin. Like if I can't find a monster that fits what I'm looking for, I will find something that has the stats that I'm looking for, and then just conceptually reskin it to be the beast that I'm actually looking for, trying to have it be. So let's see. First things first, I want to just double check here. Cyclops, I want to look for. Okay. So the Cyclops is level 6. And I'm guessing that's because until I had figured everything out. Let me see here. Yeah, that's good for level 5, so I might need to reassess. I might need to hold on, let me see here. Let's check here. Where did oh, yeah, I see what I see what I did wrong. The whirlpool, while still not going to be there, the capstone is the manor, which is going to be level 5. So that's what I need to reassess here. Which the good news is that's really quick and easy because we haven't really done anything here. All we got to do is Old Manor, level 5. Intended player level 5. And that's all we got to do because that's all we've really done in terms of mechanics so far. So easy fix, easy peasy. And so when we work on the whirlpool, we'll do that later. But I still want to do the manor first and have that ready to go, because that's story-wise kind of where the next story beat is. The whirlpool itself is its own side thing. It does impact stuff. I have in mind how the whirlpool impacts things, but we'll we'll just kind of figure that one out when the time comes. So the boss is going to be Ignatius, going to Cyclops, and then CR6, and then I also put down the experience points. So that way, and again, I've said it before, but I'll reiterate, I always err on the side of redundancy and too much information. when it comes to this type of stuff. Like every time I put down the Cyclops, I will include the challenge rating and the experience points. So that way, when the time comes to do battle with those kinds of things, I have a couple ways that are just right there, easy for me to see, so I can look it up and or hand out experience points. The more places that something is in my notes, the less time I have to spend rereading my notes to find things. And that's what it is. It's like the squirreling approach, where squirrels, the more nuts they hide, the better, because they'll forget where each individual nut is. So the more nuts they've put in places that they think they might check and might have hidden something, the easier it is for them to find food when they need it. Because they forget where they hide like 70% of them. So most of squirrels finding food in the winter is them going like, the summer is them hiding a bunch of stuff. And then the winter is them stumbling across the nut and going like, oh shit, this is awesome, and then grabbing the nut. And so that's kind of how I do it. At any rate, Cyclops, the experience points, 2,300 experience points. So, pull this back up here. We have 2300 XP. Bada bang, bada boom. There we go. So that's our boss. So now, if we're going to go to our challenge level, so instead of level 5, we want to look at level 6. Oh, wait, no. Instead of level 4, it's level 5. And, oh, shit, look at that. Yeah, I had upgraded it. Man, I'm forgetting my own system. And see, this is why I write everything down. We're supposed to have 2 room sets, which makes sense, because we are talking about, like, a boss battle here. So we're going to do that. It's a 2-story mansion. Fuck yeah. I don't know if I'm going to have time to finish it this week, but we're going to try. We're still going to try. The legwork is all of this conceptual stuff I'm trying to sort of blast through right now. Old Manor. Level sets. 2. There we go. There we go. So, yeah, all the way through it is still going to be the grotesquerie type stuff, is what I want to keep with. I need to think about thematic elements. So, what we're going to do then, though, is we're going to do level 1 and then do level 2. So the second level, or the second floor or whatever. Oops. There we go. So the second floor is going to be where Ignatius is, and the first floor is going to be where the rest of his grotesquerie is. And what we'll probably do is for the boss, make it a CR5 rather than a CR6, so that way the sub-boss, the demi-boss, whatever you want to phrase it as, is going to be a bit easier than Ignatius. Ignatius is going to be Big Bad Boss Man. Oops, I did not mean to open up Chrome. Goodbye, RAM. Close out. Okay, there we go. Alright, so yeah, so we've got our... What is this? I don't even remember this. Oh, it's like a Big Brother. Or Big Daddy. Big Daddy. That's what it is. It's Big Daddy. From Bioshock. Yeah. Anywho, I need to find our monstrosities. Monstrosities! And we can get rid of our Cyclops here. Bada bing, bada boom! Filter the monsters. Filter the monsters. Do it. Okay. So. Now we got to choose our enemies. So we need, so for level 5, what do we need? We're going to go back to our challenge levels here. So for level 5, we need quarter, 1, 2, and 6. So, we go back here. Let's find challenge rating, quarter, and quarter. Let's see what we have. And some people would say that I'm a bit too restrictive on myself by like limiting myself to just the quarters or something like that. What I find is putting restrictions on myself like this is one of the best ways to draw out creativity. Unbridled creativity, when you're just kind of sitting there trying to wing it, I find a lot of times results in kind of mess and trying to cram too much in or do too much. If I put on limitations to myself, it's a lot easier for me to instead make sure every singular puzzle piece fits perfectly, as opposed to trying to just like, smash in too many puzzle pieces for the sake of having a complete picture, right? Because then if you've got too many puzzle pieces, you can't see the actual picture and it doesn't look good. But if you get the exact right few pieces, that's when you end up with a beautiful end result. So that's what I'm working on here. So looking at all of these things, What's the wretched like? Ooh, that would be a good grotesquerie type thing. Young hook horror wouldn't be bad either. Reduced threat. What now? Dark mantle. Male steeder. I actually like just the wretched. We've already used bone whelks throughout this island, and so for the sake of diversity and enemies, I think I'm gonna not worry about the bone whelk. Instead, we're gonna go with the wretched. So yeah, we're just gonna do the wretched. Screw it, man. Screw it. Oh my gosh, yeah, see, there we go. There's my need for a siesta. Boy, oh boy. Wretched, your mom's wretched. Low-hanging fruit. I'm not proud of that joke. That was a bad one. CR1 for 50 XP. So we're just gonna make a quick note of that. Go to the old manor here. Let's see here. The wretched. Yeah, the wretched. CR1 quarter space 50 XP. 50 XP. Boom. There we go. Okay, now we need CR1 and CR2. It's good stuff, baby. It's good stuff, baby. So we go back up here. Challenge range. Half, or not half, 1 and 1. Filter them monsters. Filter that, filter that, filter that, filter that. Lobster folk. Crab people. Crab people. That would actually be a really cool one. I'm going to... Okay, here's what we're going to do. Oh, wait, yeah, level 2, level 2. Yes, I want those in level 2. We're going to do lobster folk. Them, and the idea that these are servants that he has, you know, Frankensteined into being lobster people. So yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be messed up. Soldiers, lobster folk, CR1. What are they worth? 200 XP. 200 XP. Alright. I like it. Man, those guys are messed up. Look at that, though. Look at that. Oh, God, it's so wretched. Well, it's not wretched. The wretched are wretched. This guy's a lobster folk. Man, I am killing it with the shitty jokes today. You want a paid live studio audience would be able to laugh at these crappy jokes. How is that a... That's not a monstrosity, is it? How is that a monstrosity? Oh, it's because it's large. It's just like really massive. Oh, harpies. You know, this is actually giving me an idea. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm getting an idea. I'm getting an idea ball rolling around in my brain right now. We could have the lobster folk be on the first level, right, where there's a lot of flooding and pooling water, and we could do harpies on the second level, and we can have, like, we could try and have the grotesque menagerie, the grotesquerie, have it be so that every monstrosity is a magically altered human. So those are the servants that he's already, like, wrecked, right? And so we put the lobster folk on the first floor where there's all that water and stuff, and then the second floor we do the harpies, because maybe the roof is collapsed in on a bunch of places, so the harpies will happily live in one of the rooms that has a collapsed roof or something. I am going to pat myself on the back very hard and say that is a great idea, Scott. Well done. Did I? Yes, I did still have that on my clipboard. Boom. There we go. Okay, so lobster folk, we're going to just copy and put them. Just gonna put them right there. We're just gonna just tuck them right there. Just tuck them right there. And then for this, we're gonna change this to harpies. Giant space crab grab. Thank you for the follower. Thank you for the follower. Thank you for becoming a follower. Thank you for following. I appreciate that. I'm glad. I'm glad you're entertained by me making up random bullcrap as I go. How's it going, man? Glad to have you here. We're getting towards the end of the stream here. I've only got like maybe 10 more minutes, but happy to have you here while I'm going through and coming up with the enemies that are going to be here. I'm working on creating a homebrew dungeon here, and it's going to be like a mansion that is long since destroyed, and it's occupied by a guy who, through dark extraplanar influences, has been sort of twisted from being just like a rich douchebag into being a very dark wizard who is also now a cyclops. And so he has, within his manor, he's sort of magically altered a lot of his servants, who are really now slaves. And what I'm trying to do is thematically figure out a way to create a list of enemies for this dungeon that are thematically Cronenberged versions of people that are basically him just like experimenting with magic on people. And so that's what I'm talking about, where it's like on the first floor here, I'm thinking we're going to have some lobster folk roaming around where there's like pools of water and stuff like that. And then on the second floor where there's like bits of collapsed ceiling and stuff, they can be like harpies and stuff. So yeah, thank you. I'm kind of pleased with what I'm hatching, because when I went into this, I kind of had no idea other than like mansion, cyclops, dungeon is what my starting point was, and that's kind of what the writing process is for myself. Like, I've got all of this over here in my notebook here. I've got all these templates that kind of turn into fill in the blanks, and this is why I like having the templates, because I start with a vague idea, and the templates sort of offer up certain restrictions that help refine the rough idea into being a cohesive dungeon. Is sort of what the process is for me. So yeah, so we've got this. So I'm working on the second story here. Although actually, no, let's go back to, so I one of the things I do is determine, based on what level this dungeon is meant to be, like the players are meant to be going to the dungeon. I established what the challenge rating for different levels of monsters should be. There's only like 4 different types of creatures per story, so to speak. There's a whole lot, and actually, once I get the VOD up, if you want to go back, I've explained a lot of what my process is, so you can kind of go back and look at the replay to catch up on a couple things, just so that way I can keep going forward and giving you more cool stuff here. Yeah, so we got to do one for, but I'm trying to remember hook horror D image with the hook. Yeah, that's not it's kind of bird-like. You could a case for that being almost human-like. I mean, it's got 2 legs and 2 arms. It's got like a turtle shell going on there. The hook horror, even a human, a young hook horror, do it, because I'm thinking, I'm hatching in my brain space here an idea. I'm gonna do young hook horror. So, oh hey, look at that, a robot is telling me that I can buy followers. That sounds above board. Look at me, I'm getting big enough to get crap. Yeah, can I block this or something? I can do like, I don't know about it on stream here. All I know is, look at that, look, oh, there's 2 of them. There's 2 of them in here. Look at me go. I got 2 whole robots in my chat. Gotta love that, man. Gotta love that. I gotta figure out how to work some automod systems going on here then. Who saw that coming? Bigfollows.com, no less. Wow. Golly, like, as transparent as the I have that keeps emailing me. That's right, that's proof that I've made it. I've become a profitable target for scams. Oh boy. So anyway, back to my idea with the young hook horrors here. What I'm thinking in my head here is that the back lore for this is some of his servants were children, or some of the servants had children, and the young hook horrors are the Cyclops, the dark, evil, twisted, fucked up wizard guy, experimenting with magic and fusing together creatures and children. And no, go away, AVG. I don't care how many months we've been together. This isn't the time. You're so clingy, AVG. Yeah. Man, everything's an ad. What on earth, man? Everyone's trying to sell me crap right now. Fuck that. But yeah, the young hook horrors, I'm thinking, are just like the guy. If he's turning some people into harpies, you can say he's using the leftover bird parts for the hook horrors. Yeah, there we go. He's just like the harpies and the hook horrors are just like the guy mixing and matching pieces. I like that. I like that here, giant space crab. Sorry about implying that maybe some of your people are here with the lobster folk. Crab people. Oh man, I'm full of it right now. I'm in a good mood. I tracked down I was earlier on the stream. You'll see if you watch the VOD. Earlier on the stream, I was having issues. I accidentally had a new computer part that I ordered delivered to my old apartment, and was worried I was out $150 on an Intel chip, and I was really mad at myself. But I had success contacting the old apartment office, and they retrieved it for me. They were able to verify on record that I'm who I say I am, and they got my package for me. So I'm in a good mood, which has gotten me feeling a little goofy, I guess. I don't know. I'm very animated for who I usually am. Okay, hold on. Let's finish. Let's see. I'm running out of time here. I've got appointments and stuff I gotta meet, so I'm running short on time. So I'm going to try and hurry up and get myself focused again here. We need to come up with CR2 for our leaders. Filter the monstrosities. Filter faster! God, it's taking forever. Shouldn't have said anything. I told my computer that I was on a time crunch, and it was like, oh, we'll teach you to not relax about the clock. Come on, filter the monsters. Try it again. Fucking play something, Saxman! Well, this is awkward. I hope that's not my internet that's causing issues. I hope my stream is still going fine. It's gonna be really awkward. I don't know why it's doing this to me, man. With the monsters. Hold on. Cancel. Try it again. Why is it doing this? Hold on. Are we just... Is the internet itself down for me? My internet is not working right now. Stream is still good. Okay. Okay, so it's just Firefox. Let's just close out of Firefox, I guess. Yeah, close the tabs. Why would I want to leave open busted tabs? Let's try it again. And if not, we'll go full on sad and pathetic, and we'll go crawling back to Google Chrome and say goodbye to any open RAM that I might have had. I don't understand. Maybe it's... I wonder if it's D&D Beyond that's causing issues. Let's try just going to... Okay, it must be D&D Beyond. We'll work with Kobold Fight Club. It's not exactly what I'd prefer, because we don't get the pretty pictures. But we'll work with this. Any type. We want monstrosities. Filtering. There we go. Wow, we got a lot of things we can... Oh, it's because... Hold on. Wait, no. Close. Set sources. None. Let's just go with the official lore here, just to help me filter it out. Again, adding challenges to myself, adding restrictions to myself is actually a really good way, I find, to refine and be better about what I'm producing. A lot of times and you see this in all kinds of different art with all kinds of different mediums. You know, you can see it when some guy goes solo from his band, and his solo album is all kinds of weird and out there. unbridled creativity is often its own worst enemy, and things kind of become a mess that you can sort of see where the ideas were, but it just doesn't get refined. So I try to restrict myself a lot, and create challenges for myself. It makes it more fun, and it creates better final products, I find. So let's see here. If we're looking at Kruthiks aren't bad, but I've already used a Kruthik. Centaurs would be kind of funny. Horse people? Let's do that. Yeah, they're just like twisted centaurs, but they're not like the elegant Harry Potter centaurs. They're like guys that are like Frankenstein body that like you can almost see the stitching, like the magical fusion where it almost looks like they were welded with flesh or something together. Oh, I like that. I mean, I don't. It's fucked up. It also implies, if we're going to assume that he's mixing and matching parts, it also implies that there's like a horse head running around with a pair of human legs. Oh, wait, no, that's exactly what no, that's perfect, because that could be exactly what the, hold on, D&D, the wretched. Hold on, let me pull up a picture. Hold on. Images. Hold on, where are they? Yeah, there they are. She could just say that those are like horse head on human legs. You know, it's a little bit of a reskin. Oh, it's perfect. I love it so much. Oh my god, I love it so much. See, this is what you get. It's the kind of stuff that you get when you mix and match. So we have the wretched on level 2. So on level 1, we're going to put centaurs. And it's fitting that the ones that have still at least a functional human brain are the leaders, whereas the fodder are just the people legs running around with a head horse sticking out of the waist. I just have in my head this weird image, like in like BoJack Horseman animation style, this weird image of like human legs just like running around and like a horse head sort of panicked, unable to control the human legs running around. Holy crap. Okay, CR2. What's the freaking experience points on those things? Where is it? Just give me freaking any centaur. Total experience 450. 450 experience. Oh my god. CR. Alright, 450 XP. And now we gotta come up with, let's see, we gotta get one more CR2 leader here. I don't know, man. How do I top that? Ettercap might not be bad. Hold on, let me see what. Let me just make sure I'm remembering the Ettercaps properly. Go away. Ettercap. Those are the ones that. Yeah, they're like spider people. That's perfect. Yeah, we're gonna do Ettercaps. I like that. They're like spider people, and they're all gross and icky, and they like maybe barf silk web or something like that. I don't know. It's disgusting. This is so The Thing. You know, that 80s movie, the alien. Yeah. Ettercaps. Yeah, they are. They're so creepy. Ettercaps. CR2. 450. XP. Oh my god, this is gonna be such an excellent, like love HP Lovecraft-esque, you know, stuff we got going on here. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is gonna be so excellent. Okay, so now for the boss for this one, challenge rating, it should be a 6, but we're gonna do a 5 just to make sure that it's clear that the Cyclops is the big bad dude of the place. So, okay, first off, I'm going to try and see, is D&D Beyond back? Because Kobold Fight Club helps me. No, D&D Beyond is not working. Like, Kobold Fight Club is a perfectly serviceable repository of all of the guys, but it doesn't have the pretty pictures. And it makes it harder for me to, because I gotta just remember things. Like, what's a roper? D&D Roper. I don't remember what the ropers are. Just give me an image. Oh yeah, no, that's you know, you could say that that's just like a human that was melted. Umber Hulk. Oh, an Umber Hulk wouldn't be bad. Let me make sure again. Umber Hulk. I have like a vague memory of what everything looks like. Yeah, Umber Hulk isn't exactly what I was remembering. I have a vague memory of what a lot of these things look like, but a lot of times I'm misremembering things, and it's just because I work with so many different things. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of just like a roper, and it's just like a guy. It's like some guy, and like if the players can speak a language or can somehow communicate with it, all I hear is just this guy going, "Call me," as he's like attacking, and he's just really in severe pain, and that would just really fit. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Roper CR5, and then what was the experience value of it again? Hold on, we gotta get rid of the centaur, and let's put on the roper. Gibbering Mouthers, that's not a bad idea. Gibbering Mouthers. I just like the title of them, Gibbering Mouther. It sounds like I don't know. It sounds like some sort of like insult that you would throw in league with like where is it, Roper? Experience 1800. It sounds like it's like an insult that would be in league with like mouth breather. Shut up, you gibbering mouther. 1800 XP. 1800 XP. And there we go. Okay. Yeah, we've got a really good, you know, like I say, Call of Cthulhu meets Cronenberg meets Frankenstein system of grotesquerie going on here. And God, I'm overusing the word grotesquerie for this, but I just can't think of a term that fits it better. I love this so much. I love this. This is so much fun. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be really good. Unfortunately, I think this is the time I'm already 5 minutes past when I was supposed to be done. I'm gonna have to quickly get a couple things done before I gotta be on my way for some appointments here. So, yeah, we're gonna call it a session there. Thank you for stopping by, everyone who did, everyone who's currently here, and everyone who stopped by at any point. Really appreciate it. Anyone who's watching the recap here that I post either on my YouTube channel or Twitch, I don't care. I'm not trying to monetize anything right now. I'm just trying to have fun sharing ideas with people. So if you want to watch the backlog of videos of writing stuff too, like by all means do it. If it's not, you know, Twitch only lets you keep up videos for so long. That's why I'm keeping the YouTube, so people can go back and see further back stuff if they care. But yeah, watch it on any of those things. Coming up later this week, tomorrow I'll be back streaming video games. I'm playing through the first Borderlands right now. Tomorrow, well no, because I stream video games Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then Saturday evenings. Saturday evenings for me. So like 4 or 5 hours after when it is right now, whatever your local time is. Assuming you're watching live. If you're not watching live, then God help you. So those will be video game streams. We'll be back doing more D&D writing, world building stuff Wednesday and Friday. It's always Monday, Wednesday, Friday that I like to do the writing streams. So that's coming up. As of right now, I should be roughly the same time streaming. Streaming is subject to change without a whole lot of notification, just because at this time of day, my time is kind of competing with my day job. You know, my project work for my day job tapers off in the afternoon, so I kind of have afternoons when I'm just kind of chilling. But I do got to be able to answer the phone, so I could disappear. The other thing too is if meetings get scheduled for my day job, that takes priority because that's the one that pays the bills. But as of right now, there's nothing getting in the way of me streaming at around this time the rest of the week. So that's the game plan as it is. Feel free to tune in for any of those if you're interested. But yeah, with that, I think we're going to be calling it a stream session here. Thank you again to anyone who stopped by. It's so much fun having people to talk about these things and discuss and bounce ideas off of. That's what I'm in it for. I love doing that. Please stop by at any time. But other than that, you know, go have a good rest of your day. Go out there, be good, spread some goodness in this world, and yeah, we'll catch you next time. Take care, everyone.